Okay, yeah. Put you there. Perfect. Oh, hey, hi, how are you? So, hey, I got a question for you. Have you been conducting worksite inspections as a member of the Health and Safety Committee or the safety professional and wondered how you're going to correct unsafe acts when you don't have any of that leadership jam behind you, that power of authority that a manager or supervisor would have? It's a good question. I've had it before and I ran into it. So, I want to share with you what I found was 4 simple steps for this and how to do this and how to get it done. I also want to urge you to stick around to the end because I've also got a couple of warnings for you, okay? So, what I'm talking about is, making those safety corrections during inspections. Because, well, during inspections, you're hit with something drastic like this, but that's a little much. No, what you're normally hit with is usually, well, something like this guy right here. What do you do with him? He's standing what looks like on a bucket or two on top of a rolling toolbox, and he's doing some work. And now, ideally, I suppose you could have stood on the toolbox. I suppose it's not that bad, but when you got a bucket on top of the toolbox, kind of looks unsafe to me. Actually, it is. You should be using the proper tool for the proper job, proper equipment for the proper job, right? So plain and simple. So how do you correct this? What do you do? And it's a really good question on what you do because you're not in a position of authority. Well, very first thing you need to do is stop the work. Now, hang around to the end. I got a warning on that. But I've seen it before where people, hey, come down from there, or don't use that top step as a step, or you need a guard on that. You really do. Or wear that eye protection. Don't, okay? Don't do that. 2 things. Number 1 is you're dividing their attention from that unsafe act, making it more unsafe. And number 2 is they're likely not paying attention to you because inherently they know it's unsafe and they want to get their work done. So you don't have the ability to do a proper correction. So stop the work. Get them to stop it. It's unsafe. Now, the next thing you want to do is start by asking questions. The easiest way to avoid conflict is ask questions. Don't be snide. Just ask why they were doing what they're doing. Can you tell me why you were standing on that and not using that small step ladder or a small step ladder that you could use? Is there any reason you were using that? And just be good about it. Be like, you don't have to be snide. Now, you're not giving them the opportunity to justify their actions, or you're not helping them justify their actions. What you want to do is, first off, find out, did they know what the safe work process was? And number 2 is it helps you to understand their mindset for number 3. And that is you need to be able to explain the reasoning behind the safe work, behind why they want to be working safe. And it's not just, well, it's the law. It's in the safe work procedure. It's in our health and safety management system. Not that. Start by explaining some of the science if you can behind it. In this case, you might just want to explain simple physics. Look, the base is right here. Your center of gravity is going to be outside the base a long way when you're trying to mount that bucket. In fact, I don't even know how he got up there in the first place. So you're running the risk of falling. And you know what? Falling from even a standing position onto a hard surface is enough to fracture a skull. And so maybe you might be on a carpeted floor. You might not fracture your skull, but you might hit it against the wall. We don't know. But no matter what, you run the risk of getting hurt. And it gives you that opportunity to say why the safety management system has these safe work procedures built in. It's built in to make sure that we preserve life and limb and that you're working safely. So, brings me to number 4. I need to see you getting onto that ladder. Just please do me a favor. Go grab your ladder. I'll wait, or I'll help you go get it even. And let's use the ladder and you can get up there. And that way you see them doing the correct work. And you can note it in your inspection report. Now, as I said, these 2 warnings that I had here. Okay, first one is when you're trying to stop the work, you may get told where to go, how to get there, and under no uncertain terms. Well, realistically, you need to have some sort of authority behind you, even though you don't have authority. So there's a good way to do it is have it built into the safety management system, either as part of the worksite inspection program or what have you, where whoever's conducting safety inspections in the worksite has the authority to stop unsafe work. I had to get it done when I first started out because I would try to stop the unsafe work and I'd get told no. And so the best way to do it is to do that. Get it built into your safety management system that whoever's conducting those safe work inspections has the ability to stop unsafe work. Now, the second part is, what do you report up to that person's supervisor? You don't want to be called the safety rat fink.
You little fink.
Okay, it doesn't work. It doesn't help. It harms the safety culture. It harms your credibility. But some things need to be reported up. I'm not saying don't write it down in your worksite inspection report. You should record those things. You have to, because you need to maintain that integrity of the system. However, what do we report to this person's immediate supervisor? And do we need to report? And yes, we do. We should. So I have a few pieces of criteria for that. Number one is, would their actions, if it had been seen by an authority having jurisdiction, like a government safety officer, an occupational safety officer with the provincial or state governments, whatever the case may be, would that result in written orders, penalties, or fines? In which case, then, it should be reported, because what's happened is the organization is in a position of risk, and they need to be able to know about that and deal with it. Number two thing is, if that person's actions, the unsafe act, had have actually manifested, the hazard manifested, and something bad occurred, would it have resulted in severe injury requiring hospitalization, permanent disability, or death? You know what? Those things need to be reported for that person's own good, and once again, keeping the organization out of risk. And finally, the third thing is this person a frequent flyer? Has he been doing this before? Has he been noted on previous inspections to be doing similar unsafe acts? Has he been noticed during safety walkabouts doing the same thing? Are there incident reports? So you make sure that they're not a frequent flyer. If they are, you know what? You're going to have to report it. Okay? Now, I know you're thinking, wow, all of this is a lot of heady stuff. How do I get it done? Well, I want you to do me a favor. Have a look at this video up here. It talks about the duties and responsibilities of a health and safety committee. And then you can learn a bit more on how to leverage that safety committee, if you aren't already a member, to help you out with some of this process. Until we see each other again, and I really hope we do, I want you to do me a favor. Be a safety leader. Be an influencer. You don't need to be a manager. You don't need to be a supervisor. All you have to do is walk the walk and talk the talk. Provoke safety. Okay? Take care. Bye for now.